Hi, my name is Will Leach, author of Marketing to Mindstates, and this is your Mindstate Messenger. Have you ever had these moments in your life where you are fully absorbed in the moment to where you kind of lost all track of time? Maybe you looked up and you're thinking to yourself, holy cow, that was amazing. Or maybe even you're mad because you seem like you wasted so much time. Well, these moments are called flow. And what I want to do is today talk to you about how do you increase your sales by placing your customers into good moments of flow. So, first off, making your customers feel fully captivated when engaging in your content can drive significant brand and business growth. So, let's first talk about what is this idea of flow? Well, these flow states are when you're fully engrossed in the moment. This may have happened to you. You may have heard of something called the runner's high. So, there were years ago when I used to run in these triathlons and these Ironman that every so often, doesn't happen all the time, but every so often, I would just get into this kind of flow zone. They've heard it called runner's high. And when I was in these flow zones, like everything just kind of stops. I become euphoric and I just run. I don't even realize I'm running. I'm thinking I'm in this perfect moment. All of a sudden you may look up. And at one point I had run for almost 20 minutes without ever really realizing I was in the middle of an Ironman. So, what I want to tell you is that these moments are incredible ways to grow your brand and to grow your sales because people love being in the flow and they will reward you if you're able to captivate them to such an extent that they have this moment of where time just stands still, or sometimes even it speeds up really, really quickly. They will reward you for that. Why? Because it's a human motivation. So, in my book, Marketing and Mindstates, I talk about one of the 9 core human motivations is the motivation of engagement, or what we call our desire for captivation. And your goal as a behavioral designer, as a marketing researcher, as a brand manager, is to help your customers get the most out of the moment or get lost in the moment. And when you can do that with your brand, you are going to create an engaging brand, an emotional attraction, an emotional connection between you and your customers. So, how do you activate flow? And the problem is it's not very easy. You don't sit there and think through all the times that you're in flow and try to regurgitate, I guess, how do you get into flow? It's different for every person. But you've probably been on a social Facebook app or a social media app, or you've been playing a game one time where you hit flow. And so there's certain things you can do to help your customers achieve this flow state. First off, when they're engaging with you, try to have them focus on a clear and reachable goal. You can't keep people in flow forever, so you want to make sure that whatever it is that you're telling them you can do is you help them make it reachable. Secondly, confirm that they will in fact reach this goal. Because if people feel like that goal is too far out, I can't win the game, or that game is not winnable for days, well, then they're less likely to get into the flow. Third, you want to show them that as they're engaging with you, that they're making progress of some kind to this goal. So if you're imagining right now, whether it's Angry Birds or some one of these, social media games that you may have gotten all caught up into when you were younger, that's what they do. They have a very clear, reachable goal. They confirm with you that you're going to reach that goal, and they show how you're making progress, whether you're leveling up or making more coins, etc. Fourth, you want to make sure that you give them control over their actions in your customer experience. There's no flow if I'm just passive. So you want people to be fully engaged and give them the ability to control their customer experience. Next, you want to balance stimulation with boredom. The interesting thing about what we know about captivation and engagement motivations is that you don't want to overstimulate people with so much energy and such a high that actually after a while, in fact, a quick while, the brain just can't stand it anymore and it actually disengages. But at the same time, you can't make it so boring that people get distracted. So to find flow, you got to find this balance between stimulation and boredom. And one way you can do that is to provide novelty and unpredictability in your customer experience. So your brain is constantly looking for changes. So if you're bringing in things that are novel or some kind of unpredictability in your engagement, it actually creates this feeling of stimulation and also giving people the ability to kind of zone out a bit. And when you do that properly, you're much more able to bring people into the flow. Guys, if you just understand the science of flow and how it can help your customers to fully be captivated in these moments, this is going to be a great step for you to grow your brand or business using the power of behavioral science. If you enjoyed this email, forward it to a friend and consider joining the Mindstate Marketing Facebook page to engage with other fans who want to grow their business using behavioral science. And if you want to see more of these types of videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Mindstate Group, and consider listening to our weekly podcast, the Mindstate Marketing Hour, on all major podcast platforms.